Hi guys, how are you all doing? I thought I would not do this video today, but I just felt like, let's just let you know my initial impression on this fragrance of House of Aramis, which doesn't get so much talk nowadays. A lot of other new brands are a lot more, you know, in focus. But I think thanks to some of the reviewers like Max Forte or some other reviewers like who actually looked at this one and brought it in the communities under limelight, so we got to try something different. So if you are a fan of House of Aramis, you guys would know this is their like the original, I would say, superstar of the fragrance, like fragrance game. And this is like something, it's masculine. Original Aramis for men, it's masculine, it's spicy, it has a tobacco, it has a lot of complex notes, and it's very much like a powerhouse with a sort of lemon up top. It's really a masterpiece. I call this a masterpiece, and I really get good performance out of it. But the thing is, sad thing is, a lot of the Aramis fragrances I tried, Havana, Devin, 900. There are a lot of other fragrances. I forgot their names, but what I really felt was the fragrances did not last on me that much. And it's the same case with this one, sadly, but it doesn't stop me to say this is a fantastic fragrance, okay? And the fragrance I'm going to be looking at today is called Tobacco Reserve, okay? This is not my bottle. The bottle is actually on loan from one of my brothers, and he thought I would like to review it. So I've been testing it, and I wore it quite a fair bit. You see that the dent in there, this is all me. He didn't use it. And I've been just spraying because I was like, what's wrong with my nose, or what's wrong with the fragrance, right? I'll let you know everything. So first of all, this is the box. That's how that box looks, and it's kind of like a greenish sort of a tobacco leaf or something green about it in the box, so it gives you the idea that it's going to be sort of like a green fragrance mixed with tobacco. And it has the name. It still comes with 110 ml juice, I think. It's EDP concentration and 110 ml. Yeah, I like when companies give you a little bit extra juice up their side. It's one of the brand new releases, I think. Bottom like that. Nothing that important, but this fragrance is made in where? Switzerland. Okay, here it says Switzerland. So Aramis, the nice sort of a touch. The box is kind of nice, and the fragrance, I think the retail price for was like for this one was quite high. I think it's still pretty high. It's like around what did I hear? It's around 75 to $85. That's quite high. I would not recommend you pay that price. I think in Bangladesh it's coming like around $40 for 110 ml. I think it's a pretty good deal. Here's the bottle, just like the original Aramis, just a little bit darker compared to the original. Exact same bottle, right? If you haven't seen any of these bottles, they look like, many of you say these look like big decan bottles, but no, these are proper perfume bottles, and it's very old school style, and I really like the way they kept it. Juice color is kind of like dark greenish, and the cap is like golden. It has very thin cap. It's like very cheap plastic cap, but it has snug fit. You can pick it up, and it says the name of the fragrance and everything. Looks very classy. Okay, almost like a barbershop sort of a feel from this fragrance. Okay, so yeah, nothing much going on. Simplicity of the bottle is nice. So the sprayer on these are very good. Okay, so I can smell it in the air. So this fragrance is not for the faint-hearted. This is not something I'm going to recommend to younger souls out there, people who are looking for something sweeter, something more youthful, kind of like a clubbing kind of fragrance scenario. No, I'm going to recommend this for people who are really mature, who have, I would say, the class age, like a group who's going to appreciate this kind of fragrance, who appreciate fragrance like Pakoraban Purum, Azaro Purum, Aramis for Men, fragrances like those, maybe over 40. Just like to put a number out there. If it's a number age, I would say 40. I'm 37, I'm not 40 yet, but I do appreciate the fragrance. But there are some like pros and there are some cons with this. Okay, let me tell you about this. So let me spray this and talk about it. I'm wearing something Blood Chanel in the hand. This hand is empty. Let's try this here. I've been testing this like a lot. I used to spray like a lot. I'll tell you the story. Mist is beautiful, really nice sprayer. So for the bottle presentation box, very nice. So the fragrance, they have notes like clary sage, I think blackcurrant. It has notes like tobacco. It has tonka bean and nutmeg. I think a little bit of oak moss. And what is the last one? Is it vetiver? Think of, I forgot. There's like no vetiver. It's just like those few notes that I mentioned. But surprisingly, I do not pick any of the tonka bean sweetness from this, and I do not pick up anything that is a that gives me a little feel of oak moss, but I know oak moss is kind of like banned from being used in a fragrance. So perhaps it's something like oak moss, but not, let's say, green notes. So this fragrance opens up very green. I do not detect any sort of citrus in this, any sweetness in this. I get the bitter green opening, and that is something that you would imagine a tobacco leaf, like a proper tobacco leaf. Maybe you are like trying to process it in the somewhere in the middle of processing, but it smells like very fresh. At the same time, kind of like a bitter green tobacco leaf. So if you're not a fan of those kind of fragrances, this is really gonna put you off. Even you'll find Aramis for men. This is gonna be a lot more sparkly, the lemon and whatnot. I find this to be a little bit spicy, like a kind of allspice kind of fragrance. Many people even can pull this off. They may not be able to pull this off. Very challenging opening. So the fragrance develops to be like a little bit more sweeter. It feels like almost like honey. I don't get tonka bean. Like I get like sort of like a honey tobacco, something in the line of pure heaven, but not as sweet as that. So this one remains true to the name. It's like tobacco reserve. And think of those pocket the tobacco, the cigarettes that you make, and they give you like tobacco separately, and then they give you the paper separately. You have to make them, maybe you have to cut them into pieces, and then make them like a proper little cigars. This one smells like that. I don't know why I think of Fidel Castro when I smell this one. It feels like that man would smell like this. It has that sort of because he used to smoke a lot of cigars, I guess. And you can imagine maybe the juice color is putting that camouflage sort of army, what army actually wears. It feels like that sort of green, baggy green. So the fragrance is really lovely. I love the way it smells. It smells different on paper, different on tissue, and different on skin. That is another thing. This one I think will work differently with different skin chemistry. I guess my skin didn't work with this one. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with my senses, because I detect many other fragrances really well, but this one, after 1 hour or so, 45 minutes or so, I do not detect anything on my skin anymore. Maybe people around me can detect it, and a lot of the brothers in our community, they're saying they're getting beast mode out of it. I do not get that at all. This one on me, longevity was very, very bad and poor. I mean, I'm not saying this is a poor performing fragrance. Most probably it's just my skin chemistry, but just sad for me that another. I was actually trying to buy this, but I think I'm gonna just like maybe give it a little bit more time. It has this sort of like a dry tobacco thing going on. Uh, it does remind me of a little bit of what is like Givenchy Gentleman. That one has this feel of this, but I like that a little bit more than this. This is pretty much like a reserved kind of a fragrance. I think it's gonna work for only very particular class of people. It's very niche, like, okay, it's very dry. It's almost reminds me of Gucci Gucci Guilty Absolute. I think this one, the dryness of it, Gucci Guilty Absolute. They have something like macho or something. Very much in the cold weather you like to wear. I would not wear this in the hot weather. I don't think it's gonna work. But nighttime would be perfect if it's a little bit cold weather. I really like the way it dries down. The initial green, the rawness, it goes away. Wait, let me show you a fragrance. Maybe perhaps I'm thinking of something. Wait. Yeah, I brought just one fragrance just to show you, but I don't think it smells exactly alike. But if you happen to like Kuram, I think you actually can appreciate it's pretty much like in the like same neighborhood or brotherhood, that sort of a feel. So the similarity between these are not much, but the class, yes, same class. Kuram is very inexpensive, by the way, but I really like the way it smells. It's really masculine and old school classic. So is this, right? So I saw comparison between this one and the Tobacco Veni. Some people say it smells like Tobacco Veni better version or perfumer version, or there's another one said Perielis Black Vanilla Absolute, which is supposed to be nothing like this one, because I smell both of those. I do not get that quite, but this fragrance is kind of nice. So that sort of honey sort of vibe, dried tobacco leaves, and maybe the touch of green, that clary sage, or maybe it's like, I don't know if it's clary sage or something else I'm getting. It's reminding me of sort of like herbal, those they have this containers they sell, like put oregano. Yeah, I'm thinking like oregano. Yeah, something like dried oregano. I'm getting that feel from this. It's definitely a nice fragrance for cold weathers and people over 40. I think that's the crowd. I'll recommend this if you're trying to give something to your dad, perhaps uncles or your elder brothers. This is a great fragrance for that. But it's not gonna be crowd pleaser. Not everybody's gonna like it. Not everybody's gonna compliment you like Versace Eros or Ultra Male. This is exactly opposite direction of those. So if you like kind of like a like green, if you like kind of like things on the niche side, like something bit different, something original, this is a great original fragrance. Just because of the performance I'm not getting, I'm not gonna bash this fragrance. It's a nice fragrance, but not worthy of $75 or whatever the retail. Look for a good deal. I think this is gonna come to $35-40. I think it will make a great purchase for you. And it will be something that you can cherish much later, even if your like nose grows like over the years. You really appreciate it. Very masculine, very professional scent, and you can go for nights out with it. You can go like if you're really into smoking or cigar especially, you really dig this fragrance. I say this is a very much like a try and not a must buy. You have to try this fragrance. It might work for you, might work with your skin chemistry, you might get that longevity that I did not get. But apart from the longevity and the price tag that is uh, like offered in retail market, I think no, I would not pay that retail. This actually would be like if you like Aramis original, you actually can think of this like a little bit more modern, like more contemporary version of this one. But I would say I would prefer this over this because I get everything I want when I want to wear Aramis. Like say I want to wear Kuros, I want to wear Aramis or Givenchy Gentleman or Ted Lapidus. I want to wear something that's gonna be like potent as hell. This is something that I really, it's like a very classic kind of fragrance. So definitely look at both of them. They have this sort of like a mature vibe, but if you looking for something in that side, yeah, these both of these I highly recommend. So longevity on me, this is, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 10. Longevity is poor on me, I'm sorry to say. But maybe others can smell me, I don't know. Versatility, cold weather only. Projection, I'm yet to experience a little bit more outdoors. Indoors maybe it's nobody around me, so I cannot tell, but the smell of this is really, really good. I'm going to give this 8.5 out of 10 for the smell. Beautiful tobacco smell. So if you like something line of tobacco but you're not looking for something sweet or something citrusy or some playfulness, this is a serious tobacco scent. Take a look at this overall, this fragrance, despite the longevity and everything else, I'll give this 8 out of 10. Good fragrance from House of Aramis. Just wait for the prices to go down. That's all for today, and I'll see you soon. Good night from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Bye bye.